Okay, so let's first talk about, again, so here's the thing. Like we know that I'm ground vectoring, right? Does that make sense? And are you all right?
I need another cushion.
Okay, all right. We know the discourse is like, let the energy in, and then you're trying to vector it down, okay? And yesterday we were trying this drill, and it started to expose this rotational integrity and then this top of the quad integrity, okay? But here's the thing. When I do the hand drills, it wasn't so exposable, right? It wasn't so sensible. But if my hand is staying still, like she's pushing, do you see? And I'm not doing this. And she's pushing, and I'm not doing that. Do you get that? If my hand stays still, then what else stays still is my shoulder. Do you get that? Like the shoulder has to move to do those other things. So somewhere in there is a very hard thing to understand, because we are somehow in the placing of my hand there, I'm able to stabilize the shoulder. Do you see that? But without my hand there, then I can't stabilize the shoulder. So there's a lot of just almost like faith, like you're not believing it. Do you know what I mean? Maybe if you picture your hand there and she's pushing, and you could get more the same idea. Do you understand? Okay. So we'll try that. But some of you already experienced the difference between the force coming in and going down and me just pushing back on it, okay? What happens when you stand, and particularly when you're not ground vectoring on the back foot, when your line of gravity is between your 2 feet, you have a bracing angle. Do you get that? When we're seated, we don't have a bracing angle, okay? It's a very good reason why you do Suwadi Waza, because you will not use bracing angles, okay? It's harder to use bracing angles. So if I'm here and she's pushing on me, and I try to brace on that whatever that point is, you see, I'm trying to brace on that point. If she can out-yang me, then you get picked up like you guys are experiencing. Do you see? And the reaction is to flex more, right? To try to hold the place more. But as you try to hold your legs more, it just makes you more lever, and you get lighter to her, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, so we're going to do the 2 drills. The previous one, and then the one where we're going to fake your arm, okay? And I don't know if you've seen those experiments. Have you seen these experiments where they have a person with a curtain right down the middle, and they have them put their arm on here, and then they have a fake arm. They know it's a fake arm. Do you see that? But as they're touching the fake arm with the feather, they're touching the real arm with the feather. And they just keep doing these various experiments to where they hit the fake arm with a hammer, and they're like, ah! Like, they get a pain response, okay? To me, what this is telling me is there is this, for lack of a better word, a subconscious aspect to all this, which is why you have to use metaphysical discourses, because we can't tap into it through scientific discourse, because that's not our subconscious, okay? So we'll play with that and see if it gets us anywhere, all right? So the first drill that we did is a kind of gradual pressure, because we know on you guys, if she just comes in and pushes me real hard, I'm going to do that other thing, okay? So just a gradual pressure, just first with touch, and then like zazen, and you'll feel it if you can, okay? You'll feel me drop. And then she'll increase the pressure, and with each pressure, I am particularly know that my hands, my arms never had anything to do with it. So release that tension. And then my legs, they don't have anything to do with it. So I release that tension. And she's gradually increasing the pressure. Okay. She's pushing pretty good there at the end, right? Okay, and then the next drill is you'll have your hands like you're trying to keep extension, okay? Got it? You're going to have to use your imagination like someone's pushing on your hands, and she'll do the same gradual pressure. And when you feel this pressure, I want you to, in your mind, extend your arms out. Do you get it? So don't keep your arms long. And she keeps going. When you feel like, oh, that's where I want to flex, instead I want you to reach out. Okay? For me, I can't release as much because I'm consciously trying to reach out. Do you know what I mean? I could feel I'm not as dropping. Okay? But let's see what happens with you guys, okay? All right, let's try it. And we know what's happening when I get pushed over. I'm flexing. I made a lever out of my body. Okay? Try it. Okay, and comments or observations? Yes.
I noticed this more on the second than the first, but I think it was there the second time through. I think it was there on both. That there was a pressure at which this band and that part of the back especially became flexed, and I couldn't release out of that, and then it immediately started the levering, all the loss of the grounding.
Okay.
Became very clear.
All right. Let's try this, okay? I'm trying to see how we can do this, okay? And you come around me. We've done this before, okay? You're gonna put your hands from behind me on my midsection. Don't squeeze me though, okay?
Right.
Just kind of light, okay? And because you do need that structural integrity in this midsection, because it's the top of the qua. Do you understand?
Right.
Okay. What you should feel is when you'll feel like I'm gonna do it externally. You'll feel something like that. Okay.
Right.
And when she feels that, you're gonna feel this. Okay. All right. So we're doing drill 1 again. She starts to press. Did you feel it drop?
Yes.
And then did you feel it get big?
Yes.
Okay, do you see it? So now I have this huge thing in the middle that you can keep pushing. It cannot do this. I have to let it go. So I'll do that, and you'll feel it get small again. Okay? So you're gonna feel for the drop. When she feels that drop, you'll feel that, okay? There's the drop. And then I'm going to unhinge that top claw, and you'll feel that it got smaller, okay? Yeah. So that's your lower tanden. She goes, There goes that. It's right when she pushes. She's forming it in a way. And now I have this, she can keep pushing. I have this thing that you're not going to be able to ever bend backwards. Do you see? And the interesting part, you can see that the more she's pushing, the bigger it's getting. Okay. And now I'm going to release that back line, the Ming Men line. So I dropped more and it got bigger. Do you see? And then there's just no way that because it doesn't have a hinge now. And now I can move wherever, okay? So I do want that. I understand that there's that top hinge, but we don't want to flex. We want the pressure to build, and the pressure will build by releasing the tension, okay? That is, yes, there's an architectural fulfillment that has to happen. It just doesn't happen by the flexing, which shrinks the tanden, okay? There's things I can do with this, so I kind of hinted at it that I can move now wherever, okay? So when I go forward, physically, what do you know happens to the force value at contact? It should increase because the opposing energy, right? But that energy is just going down now, do you see, into that tanden. And so I don't feel the increase, but she feels like, fuck, that is getting powerful. She feels the force. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, so, and that's the difference between external and internal. So, for example, what you'll see in a lot of Aikido people, like even O-sensei, he would do it all from here, but I have a bum knee. When you do it from cross-legged, you can lean more forward. Do you get what I'm saying? Kind of like how Ellie does it. She can lean very forward. In Seiza, you can't lean as far forward. So do you see? So that I like the Seiza better regardless. But some people will do it in Seiza, and you'll see that they anchor here. Do you see? This is a physical reinforcing of my position. Okay. So when she pushes, I push up on her. Do you see? She pushes, and I keep pushing up on her. She pushes, and I keep pushing up on her. But I cannot move from here. I cannot get up. I push towards her, and it's just increasing the yang value, but I can't go past it. Do you understand? So it's the same thing when you brace in your tachiwaza. You're getting pinned when you do that, and you cannot move. And that doesn't make sense combatively, okay? So this will be the next discovery learning. They're going to push. I just have my hands underneath her elbows. And as she's driving, you just keep lifting up on their elbows, okay? It's not that you're taking away. You'll see that, oh, yeah, that's pushing me down and keeping me in place, okay? But you'll also see as you go forward, you can't really go forward on her, okay? All right, so let's try that discovery learning. This is an external gaining of positional integrity. Try it. Okay? What do you think? There's no going for. You're like stuck. We're in a stalemate, you see. And so this is like why I say there's really no non-contestation externally. Do you know what I mean? Like you have to deconstruct the dichotomy so that you're not pushing back on them. They're pushing on you, but you're not pushing on them, okay? Now, what modern Aikido has done is go, well, I'll just get out of the way. Do you know what I mean? And so then they're like, I'm not pushing on you, I'm getting out of the way. But it doesn't work. It doesn't function martially. It's too intellectual a process that can't function at speed of life, which is why even in Kihon Waza, they push back on the uke. Do you know what I mean? Okay. All right, well, I'll show you another thing on why this doesn't work, okay? What the difference is. So she is she's here. I let that thing form, right? And then you can see that I can move anywhere. Well, I can also move this way. She's pushing, Do you see? And I can move back. You do the other one, and you're here like this, and you go back, and you're like, you're not coming back. Okay? Do you get that? So you can't even get your angles of deviation because you're stuck. And so anytime you do any yield, which is in the art, you can't capitalize upon it. It's just creating yin space that they fulfill with their yang energy. Okay? So we'll try. This again. She's gonna go. You guys probably can't come back now, anyways. Do you get it? But you can try this one. You're here. You're stuck in place. And I want you to disconnect it, and you'll see everything fell apart. Okay, you could probably try that one. Since we're here too, as she's driving and it forms, and I can go here. Do you get it? And I can come back. I can go here as I go back too. Do you see? So, and again, none of that's possible. I don't get to play with all the contact points, whether I'm adhering or whether I'm projecting. I just got this thing here that I can't do anything with. Okay. So your discovery learning exercises. Get here. Okay. Push your chair. Okay, she can't push me. And now I want you to try to do that. And you're like, oh, yeah. Okay? And you know that's basically Ikkyo. Every time we do the front inward kazushi, you're doing that. So all your front inward kazushi techniques, they don't actually function. Okay? All right, let's try that discovery learning. Okay? All right, so you guys can see this just doesn't work. And there's more things you can do. Because control and projection, right, or adhesion and projection, not only can you play with different arms, but between those two forces, you have multiple degrees. So you can do an adhesion to such a degree that it's actually slippery on them. And the other one, there's no, just friction is just freaking stuck on there, okay? So you can't even do that. You can't play with the variations in the force values, okay? All right, so here's what we got to do. We got to let go of all that external stuff. It's not what we do. It's not what we want, okay? And so you're going to task yourself with that releasing, okay? Careful of the flexion. You're going to release and let the pressure build up, okay? It's not uncommon that in these internals that people give themselves hemorrhoids because they're pushing, and it's not a pushing. I didn't push. That I release, and the pressure happens to me. Okay, so don't do that because you'll hurt yourself in the long run. Okay, all right. So as you feel the pressure, you're going to I want you to let tissues drop, like you felt me drop. Do you see that? Okay. But you can't drop like this. Do you understand? Inside the frame you have right now, you're going to let tissues drop. So we're just here, and you let tissues drop. Now, can you feel it dropping and coming up and dropping and it's not your breath. It's not breath. It's a release, and then the habitual tension that we carry around all day unconsciously. I release it, and then it came back. Okay. But I'm telling you, the dropping is closer to getting what we want, and it's the way to get what we want, even if it doesn't last. Do you understand? So I don't know, from 1 to 10, what would you say I'm pushing on you right now?
2.
Okay, 1 or 2. Okay, I agree. All right. And that's enough pressure for her to do this. Let it go down. And when she feels it come back up, she releases it again. Do you understand? Everyone understand? And that's the drill, because that releasing is all I'm doing. It's not coming back up, okay? All right, so let's try that, please. Push around a 1 or 2, okay?